if you want a little evil energy sticker hack, just order everything separately because every pack comes with a little sticker. But all right, y'all, we are back with another fuel system video for my LS swapped 81 Caprice. Last video, we put the Walbro TI Automotive 255 fuel pump with a OEM style bubble Chevy Caprice sending unit in the bubble plastic Chevy Caprice fuel tank. And I also put the hardline to 6AN fittings on the feed and the return, and then the vent would just get a just a gas line that'll probably run down right in front of the tank. So what I want to do in this video is ensure that I have everything else in the fuel system needed, so that way when I'm ready to install it, I have all the fittings, all the angle fittings, all the straight fittings, everything that I need to get this installed. So let's explain what all is here, what's going to be used, why it's here, and what's not going to be used. So right here on this section, I have the Evil Energy LS Swap fuel kit. I think this was like $60 or $70. It is a deadhead system, which means that the fuel does not return back off of the fuel rail. The fuel actually returns back off of the regulator. I'm not going to be using the Corvette style regulator because I'm gonna let you know right now, the Corvette style regulators that has this paper print on it are the cheap ones, and they evidently don't last long. The Corvette style regulators you want are the ones that have the that has like the ink printed wording on it, is the one that you want. So after reading up on so many stories on the internal pressure regulator failing, and then just sending 80, 90 PS, 80, 90, 100 plus PSI to the fuel rails, I decided against using the Corvette style regulator. People like it because you mount it up on the side of the frame close to the tank, feed, return, boom, boom, simple. So that's why people like these. And the filter is built into it, so you don't need anything separate. If you don't run the Corvette style regulator that has the regulator and filter built into one, you have to have 2 units. And those 2 units would look something like this. This is the OEM style 2002 GMC Yukon filter. I got this one because it has the screw ends on each end like that. So I think this was M16 × 01 or whatever. I will have a link in the description. I'll put it up on the screen. But then this screws in and this converts it to AN. I like this because if I need a filter anywhere, no matter where I am, I could find this filter in any parts store for probably 20 bucks. So I want to make this car, I want to build this car in mind that no matter where I drive it, I can go to a parts store and get parts for it. Now granted, yes, you can get a Corvette regulator anywhere as well, but the thing with the Corvette regulator is I believe the stock fuel pump is like 100 liters per hour, where the Walbro 255 is 255 liters per hour. So these Corvette regulators were never meant to run 255 liters per hour through it. So you're probably saying, okay, well, you got the filter, how are you regulating it? I'm going to regulate it with this PQY, which is a Aero Automotive knockoff fuel pressure regulator. So all the videos I watched and all the teardown videos, it is a exact Chinese copy of the Aero Automotive fuel pressure regulator, and everybody say they work good. They do say you need to take them apart beforehand, but I'm gonna have to take it apart anyway because I need to put this 45 to 70 PSI spring in it. So they say it's good to take it apart, remove all of the burrs and any metal shavings or pieces that may be in here from the tooling process. The rest of the kit that came with the PYQ, I will not be using outside of the spring for the pressure. I will not be using the rest of these because these fittings fit so loose in here. Like I'm not gonna trust these fittings. I will keep them as a backup, but definitely not as my primary. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna probably do a time lapse and just lay everything out to make sure that I have all of the fittings that I need to run this fuel system. And also, if you want a little Evil Energy sticker hack, just order everything separately because every pack comes with a little sticker. But all these getting thrown away because unless, you know, a company wants to give me some free stuff or whatever, I don't put their stickers anywhere. So let's do a time lapse. Let's get all this laid out. And then I will walk through each step of why and how. Starting with the fuel tank, I have the 90 AM fittings, like I said, and these just screw off and on. So I got the 90 AM fittings coming off of the fuel sender, and that's going to shoot it directly into the frame. So that's going to send the feed and the return to the frame. AM line is going to start at the tank, and it's going to run into this fitting, and then this fitting is going to go into the fuel filter, and then another set of AN line is going to run there, and then that's going to run into the output of the fuel filter, and then the other set of that line is going to run into this AN fitting, which is going to go into the fuel pressure regulator, and then from the fuel pressure regulator you got another fitting that's going to go on this side, and that AN line. Now all of this is going to be around like the trunk back door area. So this is going to be between the tank and like the back door on the fuel rail. This AN fitting here is going to have the AN line, which is going to run all the way up to this line, which is going to go to the fuel rail. Now I'm trying to figure out now if I want to run the fuel pressure gauge on the feed side or the return side. I may run it on the feed side. To me, it makes more sense to run it on the feed side. So it's going to be the AN line to the 45-degree fitting, because you got to remember that the fuel line is going to be coming from the frame up to the fuel rail. So that's going to bring the line basically straight up with a 45-degree angle to run into the fuel rail. So from the 45-degree fitting, I'm going to have my AN female, my AN male to AN female, and it has a 1/8 inch NPT, which is where the fuel pressure regulator is going to screw into, which will be facing the driver's side. And then this fitting is going to go on the stock fuel rail. The factory fuel rails look just like this, where they have these little indentures on it, right? So this will go hold on. So this is going to go on the factory fuel rail just like that. The inside of this fitting has a O-ring in it, and then this is going to press on and screw in and connect onto the fuel line into the AN fitting just like that. So this is the essentially what the what's going to happen with the fuel rail. And then that's pretty much going to be it for the feed side. And then since I am using the truck intake, which is a return style intake, I'm going to run this one on the return side, and then I'm going to deadhead it with this cap. So that's going to seal that off so the fuel will not be returning. So for the fuel return, is going to come off the bottom of the fuel pressure regulator. The adapter to AN6, and then I also would run the 90 degree fitting that came with the PQI. And then of course the AN line would go in there for the return, and then it would run to the return on the fuel sender. So when you look at it, it's not that complicated. Fuel comes in, fuel returns back to the tank, and then this fuel goes up to the fuel rail. So these are essentially all of the fittings that you would need to run it. Now my next question is, will I have enough AN line to run it? Because it's 20 feet. So will I have enough AN line to run all of this, or will I need to order more? That's going to be the trick. So I'm going to run all my line. I'm going to run all my feed line, and then hopefully I will have enough return line to return it back to the tank. But I will have links in the description. I will try to put where the fitting goes by the link, so that way it makes sense. But everything is Evo Energy. The PYQ stuff came with this bag of O-rings, so I did put an O-ring on here. But if you order the Evo Energy stuff, it comes with the O-ring pre-installed, and you only use the O-rings on the non-tapered fittings. So yeah, I need to get back to the Caprice. I need to have the computer reprogrammed, but it won't be reprogrammed to take the vats and stuff off before I go, more than likely. But if I have time, I will go ahead and get the old fuel system, get the old tank, the old fuel lines and everything out, and start installing the new stuff. That shouldn't take that long. Cutting the lines and stuff and installing the lines shouldn't be that bad. And then of course, check out what I found on eBay. I found a Caprice, even though it's the Euro model. Well, I think it's like the 85, because they still had the 6 taillight lenses, but it had the Euro front end. But I believe this is the same color as mine, and it's a keychain. So when I put the new lock cylinders and stuff in, this is going to be on my keychain for the Caprice, which I think is pretty cool. I like little stuff like this. I will spend a bunch of money on little stuff, little trinkets like that. So yeah, next video will be trying to figure out I take that back. Next video is going to be taking apart the PYQ fuel pressure regulator, because I need to put the 45 to 70 PSI spring in here and clean out any debris that may be in there as well. And then hopefully the video after that will be getting the old fuel system stuff out and getting the new fuel system stuff in here. For the OEM fuel pressure regulator, and I will have a link for this in the description as well. This is just a mount that I got off of Amazon. It was like $9 because I didn't feel like messing with the OEM mount. But basically, I mean, I don't need it to fit flush. If flow goes that way, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's just gonna sit in there. It's gonna have a little wiggle, little jiggle, but it's fully protected. Gives it some room to move, and it'll just get mounted on the frame along with the fuel pressure regulator. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will try to answer your question. I try to set this stuff up to where you can understand it, because I feel like not a lot of videos actually breaks the stuff down for people who've never done it before to figure it out. I'm a visual person. I have to see it. I can write it down on paper and all that stuff, but I need to see it. I need to feel it with my hands to make sure I have everything I need. And I know from doing that I need to order an Evil Energy AN6 straight to AN6 tapered, and I need to order another Evil Energy AN6 90. And then I should have everything I need to get this installed. And of course, the install video will be a walkthrough as well, because I need to talk myself through the steps to get it done. So yeah, I'm excited. Is getting to the finish line. Well, it's getting to the finish line of getting the car to be turnkey, where I can get in it, turn the key, hear it run. I still need to get exhaust, and I'm going to be just ordering the Amazon exhaust kit. I might try to do an X pipe or H. I might not. My welding skills ain't all that great. I mean, this is the welding that I did on the filler neck, and that's pretty much what the exhaust would probably look like as well. But you know, it's strong, it's just ugly. Grinding paint makes me the welder that I will probably never be. We're just gonna keep working, do what we can while it's cold outside, and then when there's a nice day, try to take full advantage of it. This is gonna be it for this video. I've yapped for about 7 minutes now. So in everything you do, think, build, make sure you have all the parts before you start, and enjoy. Peace.